Well, I thought I'd share about my Amiga and Commodore 64 and similar collection. I usually collect productivity software. You can see here the classical video Amiga with a hardware interface, image conversion program, Art Department Professional was very popular, Scala Multimedia 400, which I never could afford back then. Also have Amiga Vision that came with the Amiga 3000 and Deluxe Paint 5. No, sorry, 4. Also have a 1351 mice for the Commodore 64, which incidentally works with the final cartridge 3, as well as, where is it? Geos. Also collect some cartridges for the Commodore 64, like Simon's Basic, and the Koala Painter, which really doesn't support any mice, but you need a light pen to operate it with a proper board. I also collect some, actually I haven't collected this, it's one of the games I bought earlier in life. Emulation is fun too. So. The hardware you can see over here, this is the Commodore 64G. I imported this one from Germany, and this is a Commodore VIC-20 I bought and restored. Instead of retrowriting it, I used color to make it bright. And the Commodore 64C, as well as the Commodore 64 Mini and the Vega Spectrum. Also have some 264 computers here, the Commodore 116, Commodore Plus 4 and Commodore 16. And I continue along the line with Bill Hurd's hardware in the Commodore 128D. Also have a 1541 with the ID switches modded back into it myself, and some tape drivers. Also some power supplies, but I don't use those for the Commodore 64 because they pretty much would blow up any second now. So also have some system cards for the Commodore 64 as spares. Currently looking for SID chips, but well, they're rare. Also have some adapters for the Plus 4 series, so you can use a standard Commodore or Atari joystick, as well as plug in. This is a custom made one that has a USB interface and a processor inside, so you can use joysticks with the Vice emulator. Also have a Commodore Amiga 4000 and a golden Commodore 64, which I haven't really finished yet, but it's a long time project. This is my Commodore Amiga 1000 and the 1200. This has a 6813 on the inside. This is the main computer I use if I ever pull something out and play with it. Also have a Commodore disk drive, the 1010 model that came with the Amiga 1000. Also I collect some games, mostly flight simulators and well, simulators and stuff like that. Also have some diagnostics cartridges. This one really should have been in a box and easily packed. And the Commodore 64, the TET cartridge diagnostics, as well as the Commodore 128 cartridges. Also have the 1541 diagnostic cartridge that came from World of Johnny, which also worked with 1571 if you run it in the Commodore 128D. I have some VIC-20 cartridges. Avenger, which was the first game I ever had back in 1982 or 1983. Naturally I have a SD2IEC flop, I shouldn't call it floppy drive, but it's well, sort of, and the Gotik drive for the Amiga 1200. Also have some mice, sound samplers, and MIDI interface, and some fun toys to play with.